when did you first realize that you were overwhelmed?
So for me, it was after my mom. So that was and that's why he put the stitches right here. No. For me, it was like it wasn't like when everything was going on. It was like well after.
After.
It's
Yeah.
still like
Yeah.
a healing
Waiting.
process,
Yep.
still,
Yeah.
after. But I think for me it was then. It doesn't hit you until maybe a year or two or after.
Yeah.
And it didn't really come until last year when I went on sabbatical,
Mm.
where I really laid in the bed for days.
Yeah. I just had a conversation with a friend talking about how to say no.
Mm.
And it's hard. And it's almost like, well, you want to be present for everyone else.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like we're resting, but we aren't getting the rest that we need.
Pour a glass.
Welcome back to Real Talk and Red Wine. I'm your girl, Kid Callie.
I'm Marissa.
And I'm Cookie.
Tonight, we're talking about women balancing it all. When we're strong and we're secretly exhausted. And I'm sure us women, we can all relate, right, ladies?
Everyone, Kate Callie.
That is heavy. That is heavy. So that's what we're gonna be talking about tonight. But before we get into that, let's talk about our wine of the night. And Rissa brought our wine of the night tonight. So let's talk about it.
I'm excited. This is one thing, a wine that I really enjoy. This is the McBride Sisters Black Girl Magic, which I think we all give little Black Girl Magic every day. It is a red blend. So I think we should all take a sip.
Let's take a sip.
We can have more conversation about what we taste.
Okay.
Here. What do we think?
I like it.
To give you. Y'all taste what is some.
I feel full body
Okay.
fruit.
Yeah. I taste a little cherry.
Y'all were on it. It is cherries, plums,
Okay.
spiders. And I think Black Girl Wine, Black Girl Magic definitely embodies the space of like inspiration. And some of the things we definitely talk about for our podcast and the narrative as well for Real Talk and Real Wine. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that we can share this wine tonight and take a sip and enjoy it. And I think the viewers will definitely enjoy it. So McBride Sisters, Black Girl Magic, Red Wine is what we're having today as our feature. So take a sip and enjoy with us. I think we'll tag some more information so you all can enjoy and find out places to pick up the wine for you. Boy,
Yes.
I like it.
All right.
Voluptuous, right?
Voluptuous. All right. So now that we got our wine, we're tasting, we're gonna be sipping. I hope you get your wine too, so you can sip with us. But tonight we're gonna be talking about something that definitely impacts us all as women. Balancing it. How do we balance our many priorities? How do we balance it all? The pressure of balancing it all. To be successful, to be present, to be strong, and to be everything for everybody. And I think that sometimes that takes away what we have left for ourselves. Women are praised for being strong while we're silently drowning by carrying the burdens of everyone else and so much.
Mm-hmm. And just to add to that, silently drowning, but also we are slowly dying because we're killing ourselves from a health perspective too.
Yeah.
Because you're
Yeah.
holding it in, the stress, the trauma, all of that impacts your day-to-day health.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we don't notice it as much. And I feel like every time we have the conversation, we talk about like checking in.
Uh-huh.
How are you feeling? How's your day going? So I want to ask you all, how was your week? How are you all feeling? Before we get into the conversation, because I think, we're getting into like kids
Good.
in the summer, going in the summer,
Yeah.
things where you pick up for our summer and vacations and things like that. So how are y'all feeling right now in this moment?
Well, first, thanks for asking.
That was good, girl. That was good.
Thanks for asking. I'll go first. I'm good but stressed a little. Trying to balance things, work, family life. There's and with family, I think it's not just what you're going through, it's what others, that your loved ones, your family, your friends are going through. So I think just trying to balance and be supportive and being strong for them is something that, that's the space I'm in, but also prioritizing myself. So yeah, so good but stressed, I guess would be my
Prioritizing yourself
I
too.
would say that. I mean, this week was pretty busy with my daughter graduating and then all the activities, and I had family in town. Um, I had my brother come home because he was incarcerated, one of them.
Okay.
So that started a lot of did you do this, did you do that type of thing. Um, and then coming up on my mom's birthday this weekend. So, and then work. So I would say an emotional and stressful week, kind of all bottled together. So that's kind of how my week was.
So how about you?
Ah. I would say I'm on a um I'm coasting, right?
Okay.
So I just came back from celebrating my sister's 30th birthday. So that was awesome.
And what you do?
I was
Tell us.
skydiving,
What?
which was awesome, right? So, but it was a space of us like trying new things together, taking the leap of faith, literally. But
Prayers.
yes, prayers, all the things, calling our parents and friends as soon as we touched the ground. But I think it was a good space for us to like try new things, opportunities together.
Mm.
Um, and just to celebrate her. So I'm in a space of celebrating. I have a lot of friends who have birthdays coming up. Family has birthdays coming up, and so I'm in a space of celebrating others.
Yeah.
And also like leaning into that to see what others need, but also still trying to. I enjoy celebrating others, but taking care of myself at the same time. So
Oh yeah. Oh, celebrating others is definitely good. I can't believe you went skydiving.
yeah, it was fun.
It's amazing, but
We'll have to talk about that later.
I'm here to tell my story.
you are here. You are here to tell us all about it. All right, so let's get into our first red wine moment. We're gonna do a truth or sip. So let's get into it. Have you ever felt overwhelmed but kept pretending you were okay? So truth or sip?
Truth. Yes. Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I would say yes. I think we always say yes to that. Um, are you so have you learned from that? So are we still in that space? Are we more comfortable now with saying, hey, I'm overwhelmed? Or are we still in a space where sometimes we kind of slip back into that pattern?
I think it's an easy pattern to slip back
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
very quick. Even though you may have a moment, you can easily slip back into it. Um, I think it is for me, it is it's day by day, situation by situation. And so I kind of just go that way. And then sometimes if I catch myself, I'll be like, oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
You gotta sit down. You're doing too much.
I think that's important, kind of keeping ourselves accountable
Yeah.
when we see that we're doing it. Because almost like even when you ask the question, like, "Oh, how are you doing?" It would be easy to say, "Oh, yeah,
It's
we're
like the
doing
elevator pitch.
okay."
I'm good.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You have it already ready to go. Okay. Have you ever resented people for needing too much from you?
I wouldn't say resent,
Okay. What would you say?
irritated. I think that would be. I don't resent them from needing
You know
too
who
much,
it is.
but I think I
Okay.
just get. Sometimes I get irritated
So you did
because
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'll say yes at times. I think we can, but I think where you're going is the resentment is maybe too deep. Is that where you were going with?
Yeah, because I don't really resent them.
Yeah.
I just get irritated because it's like you're asking me something that I may have put in an invite already. So why are you bothering me with this question? You can look it up
Simple things.
or Google Copilot.
Yeah.
Does this location have more than one location? No, there's only one of those in Richmond, right? Just saying, you guys got me started, so here we go.
Google can tell you. All right. So what do you
I would
say?
say true. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the same as both of you all.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So have we ever felt guilty for wanting time to ourselves?
Am I
True.
gonna sip? No, I'm just yeah.
You just
Yeah,
telling
I
the
would say
truth?
true. answer.
You can still sip. You can tell Truman still sip. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. The wine is good. You can do that. All right. All right. So let's transition. Let's talk about the pressures that we carry a lot of times as women. Do you think women are expected to carry more emotionally than men?
Yes. Truth.
Yes. Do you think we're expected, or do
think
you
we're-
think we take it on ourselves?
I think it's both. I think it's for me speaking, I think too they can be inherited. Like you see, like as black women, and I'll speak for me, I'll just say that. It's taught to serve, it's taught to give to others, it's taught to pour into your family to make sure everyone else is okay. But at the same time you're depleting yourself and the energy that you have, you're exhausted. But on the outside we can't show that, right?
Yeah.
So we give to others, and I'm always like, "What are you doing for yourself this week?"
Yeah.
For family members, but it can be a lot. But it's just, I think we're taught that, but how do we stop?
Yeah.
When do
Yeah.
we know to stop?
I agree. I think we do carry a lot. Okay. I think we do carry a lot.
Yeah.
Some of it is our own
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I also think that men carry a, a lot
That's what,
too.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I think that they
We're-
carry a lot.
We are balanced here,
Yeah,
fellas.
so-
So you can watch us too. We're gonna be balanced.
Right. So I do think that we carry a lot, and I think it is inherent because we grow up. It's like
Right.
you got to be strong. You got to take care of everybody. Like,
Yeah.
from a woman's perspective, the house, your husband, your kids, your this, your that. But I think that men carry it. They carry it in silence,
I think it's more silent.
and it may come out in different ways for them.
Yeah.
But they do carry it. And as women with mates or husbands, you do have to be mindful of that. And you have to ask the same things, right? And be more emotionally in tune to what's going on with them as well.
Because for men, it may not look the same. It may not
Exactly.
be the
Right.
the emotions, tears, and things like
Right.
that. But it may be changing behaviors, patterns, that certain things.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm glad you said that, because that's what I was gonna also kind of say that too. And I agree with you as well that I think sometimes women we kind of take on more emotionally. But I feel the answer. I guess I would say both. Both men and women, but it's in different ways. And I think sometimes in relationships, you know, women, we can feel like we take on more, men
Right.
feel, and I think that's where we need to come together and just agree that we both are carrying things emotionally,
And
right?
communicate and talk about
And
it. 'Cause I
communicate.
don't think we do a lot of that to say,
Yeah.
you know, I realize that you're carrying a lot for
Yeah.
this house or for the relationship
Yeah.
or for the family. And it could be like the family as a whole that he's carrying, right? Those type of things. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I mean, and showing the appreciation for the small things, the routine things that are done.
Yes.
I
yes.
think some of that. So when did you first, or when did you first realize that you were overwhelmed?
Mm.
I know that's a kind of a loaded
Okay. So for me, it was after my mom. So that was and that's why he put the stitches right here. No. But I think for me, it was like, it wasn't like when everything was going on. It was like, well, after. It's still like a healing process, still, after. But I think for me, it was then. Because it doesn't hit you until maybe a year or two or after the fact, where you're like, and it didn't really come until last year when I went on sabbatical, where I really laid in the bed for days.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, it was like I was resting. It's like days.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's like, you may have something like that happen. But that's when like I'm overwhelmed. Like it's a lot.
So those moments in our life that are, obviously losing a parent's very, life altering, traumatic, and it's something that you will live with for the rest of your life.
Yeah, because it was that, and then the situation that my husband was going through with his health,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah.
and his diagnosis when he had cancer. So it's like all of that
Mm-hmm.
together, and then not passing in school. Praise God, I'm going to graduate.
Yes.
But when you have all of that, and I think my mom's passing was kind of like the main thing that broke the back to say, yeah, you're not doing good here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what do you think through all of that? What do you think, how are you managing that? I know this a process of grief. Grief is obviously a lifelong process,
Yeah.
but how are you managing that now where you don't, feel so overwhelmed?
On the days that I may feel overwhelmed, those are the days where I don't do anything. I kind of like not like check out, but I'm not really.
Take
I'm
care of
just.
you
I may watch TV all day, or I may, but or I may just sit upstairs, or I may, lay in the bed and look at things. But that for me, that is the rest that I need. But because I have to get away from the electronic
yeah.
things of it. If
Right.
something that's not going to use all my brain power, like work or
Right,
school or doing something for somebody.
Right. You
Yeah.
rest.
Yeah.
You rest.
The rest.
You pour into you and you don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
But I know it probably is hard, especially when you have a family, work, balancing it all. But you have and not feeling, you know, guilty for needing to pour in, or that time is passing, you're still in a certain space. There's no time on that at all. So, well, yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
And the next thing I was gonna say, which was a great segue, was how do you feel? How do we get to a place where we don't feel guilty for resting when we're in spaces like that? For taking the time that we need. Because it might be that we need to stay in the bed and rest, and we might not be able to make it to an event. We might not be able to prepare that dinner that we said we promised that we were going to do that day, but we need to rest. So,
Be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
hmm
yeah.
And it's okay if you can't show up because that day you may need to show up for yourself.
Well, yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what's important. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of times you're showing up for everybody else, but you got to show up for yourself and be okay with it and then explain to the person. I think we talk about it all the communication and honesty.
Yeah.
Look, I can't make it on this one. So,
I think
Yeah.
too that because if you show for others, we're more exhausted than when we were before, or trying to mentally prepare for, certain things, or just, okay, I got to get outfit together. I got to get a present, or what time I had to be there, all those things. And I'm a planner. So it's almost like XYZ. I had to
Yeah.
execute these things for myself. But I just had a conversation with a friend talking about how to say no.
Mm.
And it's hard. And it's almost like, well, you want to be present for everyone else.
Yeah.
right.
But at the end of the day, like we're resting, but we aren't getting the rest that we need, right? Because our mind is still going.
Yes.
We're thinking about what we have to do the next day. And I just had a Bible study on Tuesday, which is really good because it talked about like freedom and resting and being present. And it talked about like how can we support one another in those spaces, and what does that look like? Are you a Mary or you're a Martha? All those things of like
Mm.
Right.
busyness of things, or you just sitting and resting and being still and listening. So I think those are the things we have to like definitely think about in the hustle and bustle of the day and getting going and moving and like sitting with ourselves. And I think accountability partners are great because it's like, well, how are you doing today? So that check in all the time, and
And
it's
understand that
it can be
resting is
hard.
healing.
Yeah.
So that's how your body heals, right? When you are resting.
Right.
And that means your mind. So as we are, our minds are constantly going of the next thing you have to do and the next thing.
Right.
So even when you're resting, if you have a notepad by your bed
Yeah.
and you just write down, oh, I won't forget this. Or if you keep something you happen to be in your phone, you just jot it down in a just jot it down to get it out of your mind,
right.
so that
Yeah.
you can continue to rest and you're not thinking about, please don't let me forget. Please don't let me, like, I can't forget.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
write it down.
Yeah.
Put something beside your bed so you can write it down, or write it in your notepad so you can't do it. But remember, Jesus rested. So,
Yeah. Jesus
there's a
rested.
day of rest that we're supposed to take, right?
Yeah.
And we know that rest is healing for the body. So it goes back to what we talked about earlier of, resting and taking care of your whole self.
No, that definitely spoke to me because I am a person that my mind is on 24/7. I feel like even while I'm asleep.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of women, I think, probably can relate to that because we have so many priorities and balance so many things. And there's, our doctor's appointments, the kids' doctor's appointments. Some women schedule their husband's doctor's
Yeah.
appointments. No judgment, but that's a lot. That's a lot to balance. And I have started doing that, writing it down and kind of like, obviously at work, you kind of get ingrained to do that, prioritize things, but I do it now in my personal life, so maybe I won't get to everything this week, but I'll do that next week. Do two things this week, maybe two things next week, where I don't feel like I have to do everything in that one week, right? And I can also feel like you're being present too with your loved ones, your spouse,
Yeah.
and your kids and your family, because I think if you're just constantly going, it's, you can't, focus the way you need to.
And having a calendar, I think
Mhm.
that's how.
Yes.
So we have I started this a few years ago, but it's a shared Google Calendar.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I will use the Google Calendar. I color code it. Everybody has it. My daughter has yellow. She wanted yellow. She got yellow. Everyone has a color. Everybody has a color. And I add their email on there so it goes to their calendar
Okay.
on their phone.
Okay.
And that way, like, even my husband and I, like, I'll put everything on there. So if there's days he'd be like, I didn't see it on the calendar. Or he saw it on the calendar, but he knows that, oh, we
Yeah.
seem like you're working
Right.
late. So then you have your help to
Right.
come in. But
Yeah.
the calendar is another way to free your mind so then you can rest because you're not trying to remember, where did I write down that I had an appointment?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, and we kind of touched on this, but have we ever felt like we've lost ourselves while taking care of others?
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 I think. Go ahead. You can go.
I was gonna say, I think it's very easy to do, and I think it kind of speaks to something that we talked about at the beginning, where as women, I think sometimes it's ingrained in us a little bit to, almost lose ourselves is like a badge of honor in some ways. Like that means I'm being the devoted mother, I'm being the devoted spouse by giving, pouring so much into my family. But what am I pouring back into, myself? So yeah, I definitely think it happens. I think over time, I think with age I'm just gonna say experience, I think you start to kind of see one, you gotta ask for help. You gotta delegate.
Yeah.
Delegate, and that even means sometimes delegating stuff to your kids age
That's right.
appropriately
Yeah.
for
That's
them to
right.
start,
Yes.
and I know I had to start, doing some of those things within my household specifically, not with my spouse because he's great, but with my son, kids can get spoiled, so
Oh yeah.
they gotta start doing more things for themselves, and then that builds the independence that they need, but it also takes some pressure off of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Mhm.
so you guys agree?
I
And you were gonna,
definitely. Yeah, I was
I cut you
gonna
off.
speak to that, but I also agree with that because I think too, it was almost in my mind of something clicked and said, "This is like I don't feel like myself. I just feel like I'm
Mm,
trying to do the responsibilities that I know come with supporting a family or things like that, or um, being present in a relationship, right? So you see these things. I see taught as a wife, future wife, that you're supposed to do
future.
these things. Um, but I think at that time I was, like, am I doing too much or am I giving enough or am I not giving enough in those spaces of like, okay, well, it's time to take a step back and still ask for help.
Mm,
Um, because I still felt the anxiousness of doing things and trying to please others and not getting the rest I needed because I'm trying to pour into others or I'm trying to meet an expectation or unmet expectations. Um, and balancing certain things when it comes to relationships or friendships.
Mhm.
So that's where
Let me ask you a
I was
question,
at.
and I don't know if this is this is where you were going, but how do you find balancing and prioritizing? Because you said you are, a future wife, right? How do you find it challenging to balance what you give, how you give in this season of preparing yourself to be a wife?
How do I balance that?
Mhm.
That's a good question.
Good question.
I
Yeah.
think that's I don't know if I have well I have, but I don't think I've like noticed it of what that balance would look like for myself, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
let me come back to that.
You
'Cause
can.
that can be heavy and I think it
Yeah.
too yeah.
Okay.
Let me sit on that one.
You can come. We can come back
Come
to
back
that
to
one.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
So another thing, another topic, definitely we have to talk about is balancing relationships, motherhood, and and career. So let's talk about that. Like, how do we balance it all as far as our relationships, motherhood, career? And I definitely want to talk about balance and definitely how the work life balance fits into that. Because today we're obviously balancing the relationships, motherhood, careers, and healing ourselves, and also the responsibilities that we have at home. So do you think society romanticizes like us having it all as women?
I think we did a big part of that.
You think we do it, not
Oh
society?
yeah. I think
I
now
think it's
it's
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think in the social media plays a huge part, but I think it's been some conversations of now with that, like taking a step back because in the I can't say when timeline wise, but I feel like in some spaces it was like we gotta do this, we gotta meet that threshold, we have to meet these certain expectations or
Mhm.
unmet expectations, like I
Mhm.
shared earlier. But I think also now a lot of Black women or women in general may be coming and speaking up about like
Yeah.
we need to have balance, we need to have rest, we need to prioritize certain
Mhm.
things. Um, yeah, that's what I think. I don't know where you were
At
gonna
the
go
end,
with yours.
sometimes we ask for it.
Yeah.
We wanted to be career women.
Well, that's all.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
mean, we did, right?
Yeah.
We did. We want to be in the marketplace.
But can't we have it all?
I mean, absolutely, but do understand that it's gonna come with some
But
things.
I was gonna say, I don't know if we can. I said that, but it was more sarcastic. I don't know. I think there is I think we have to give up something, right? I think if you're, working long hours and, even if, you have a spouse, they're there, they're taken care of, you're missing out on moments on your with your kids that
Absolutely.
you're not going to get back. So if you're okay with that, right? So like what means the world to you? I think we have to ask ourselves that as women. And I think you're exactly right. I think what changed is when women went more into the work, but when they left the home and went more into work, right?
Yeah.
Because there was a time where more women were at home,
Yep.
and they were homemakers. We were homemakers, and it's not knocking anyone that is still doing that. And I think certain family dynamics where
You have the
some
support
people
or you
can
can do
live
it.
off
Yeah.
of a one income household,
Mhm.
but a lot of times in today's
Yeah,
society,
that's
you
right.
just
No.
can't,
No.
especially if you have children.
Mhm.
And I agree, and I think yes, it's something that we ask for, but also we do have to understand that it comes with a sacrifice.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, what are you willing to sacrifice? And then the other thing
Mhm.
you have to ask yourself is, where are you putting the value?
Yes.
So, is the value in the career and moving up in corporate ladder, meaning that you're always going to be on the phone? You're at a soccer game, you're on the phone.
Phone.
You're at the cheerleading competition, you're on the phone.
Yep.
May
Or
not
your
be
email.
physically
Yeah.
on the phone talking, but you
You're on your
are
email.
messaging and you're emailing or you're in your laptop. So then you're not in the moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're really missing the moment. Mom, did you see that? yeah, I saw it. No, you didn't.
And
You
you
were looking at your
did.
phone.
And they know you didn't see
So,
it.
who are we really fooling, right? So I think at the end of the day, yes, I think you can try to be all things to all people. You can try to do it all, but the reality is something's gonna fall, and you
Yeah.
have to understand her and ask yourself, what is the value? What's valuable to you,
What is
Yeah.
your yeah.
and what is most important to you?
Yeah.
And it took me a while to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I chased corporate ladder for years, but then there was a sacrifice on the back end, which were the girls, right, and
Yeah.
certain things.
Yeah.
So, myself, I think
Mhm.
that you just have to ask yourself, and don't be afraid to ask for help. So when you have a partner, you have a husband, you're able to kind of balance it off for each other. But at the end of the day, when you have kids, they still looking for your mom to be there, someone to show up.
They
So,
are.
not the dads don't show up, because a lot of dads do show up.
They do.
But it's like, Mom, did you see this? And it's like, no, but so
You did
yeah, so
great.
okay, but
Yeah.
no, I want it, so you just gotta realize, what's important and weigh that out. And I think that there's a lot of successful women out there that's able to do it, but they're not doing it alone. They have help.
Yeah. They
And
have
they're
they have
opening up
help.
their mouth
She'll
to
figure it
say,
out. Yeah.
yeah.
And I think this is and we've talked about, and I think we should definitely do another show on kind of the career woman and how we balance it all, in the workplace. So I don't want to,
Right.
deep dive too deep into that, but I do think a lot of times, especially in corporate America, women feel that they do have to sacrifice their family because a lot of times men don't have to prioritize the things within their family. They can work the later hours. They can go on the trips, the whatever the business trips at the shorter notices potentially than
Yeah.
than their male counterparts, and then they may get passed over for promotions and things like that. So I think we've done a great job. We talked about cracking the glass ceiling. We've done a great job. We definitely are in rooms and in places that we haven't been in the past,
Right.
but I think we still have to ask ourselves, like you said, at what cost?
At what cost?
At what cost? So, what areas of your life feel the hardest to balance right now? I think for me, I would say work. For me, is I think going through a season of change at work, I think can be just hard, period. Um, to navigate and things like that. And then I think navigating when also are home and not trying to bring that, um, negativity home, I think can, definitely be hard when you're, going through something, at work, kind of cutting it off when you need to.
I think it's different too if you work primarily from home,
I think that
because it is a difference. Like I worked from home for like 10 plus years.
it's harder to cut off. Yeah.
It's harder when you're full time at home working versus if you're going in the office some days or you're going in the office majority of your week. I
Yeah.
think that plays a difference in trying to separate the work life balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
My thing at the end of the day is you're only getting paid your salary for the hours that you work,
That you,
which
yeah.
is 40 if your salary. You're not getting paid for anything extra.
Anything extra, yeah. And they will be quick to give your job if somebody else of that.
At the end of the day,
Yes.
it's a
Yes.
business,
Yeah.
and you are replaceable.
Very much so. Yes, they will have your job posted
And
before your
I
funeral.
think sometimes when you are in the marketplace and you like
They will.
this brand and you've built like you've been there and
Yeah.
you
They'll
think that
remember
you're
you.
not replaceable, and at the end of the day
You are. You
you're
are.
replaceable, and they will do it very quickly. And so it is a company, right? And so then you have to then put in perspective back to the other conversation
Yeah.
of balancing it all.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
what's the most valuable thing for you? Is it the memories and the lifetime and the things that you create with your family?
Mhm.
Or is it that you stayed at work and you worked instead of 40 hours, you worked 60 hours,
Yeah.
but those additional hours you could have been at the game
Mhm.
or the talent competition and
Yeah.
things like that, because you're not promised those things. Those things happen once in a lifetime.
Right. 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 And if you're gone, your family, your friends are gonna remember how you showed up for them, how you made them feel,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think that's something for us all to think about. So do you think we need more support or do we need more understanding?
I think we need to open our mouth up.
Yeah.
Just saying. Like we
So
need to. I think the support is there. I think a lot of
right.
times
We
we
gotta speak
have
up.
support, but we don't want to inconvenience our friend or
Yep.
our
Mhm.
parents or our husband or our siblings. But I think we just need to say, "I need help." Like
Yeah.
speak up, say it,
I'm trying to assume or think for others. I think
and be
that's a big
okay with
thing.
it. That
Yeah.
nobody's gonna think less of you. Like
Yeah.
sometimes if you're the person that does it all, it's like I don't want them to think that I can't handle it. No, at the end of
Like
the day,
you
you
can't,
can, but you
yeah.
do like you get that in your mind. It's like, no, just say you need help.
Right. And you've already shown what you can do. You don't need
Right,
to
right.
show it anymore. All right,
Can't make assumptions.
let's take a sip on that.
Okay.
Let's take a sip. That was sip worthy.
Ask for help.
Ask for help. Ask for help. All right. So let's get into our rapid fire.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. No thinking too hard, just quick answers.
Mhm.
Rest or productivity?
Rest.
Okay.
I told you that in the beginning.
Yep. All right. Here we go. Soft life or boss life?
Soft life.
I'm gonna say
Boss life.
I'm gonna say hybrid.
I guess I was. Yeah, I guess I could go in between. Okay. But you said the first thing that popped in my mind was boss, but I was like, really? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I know, yeah.
Hybrid's a good way to put it.
Boss
Yeah,
life,
me
it
too.
like sounds
Hybrid
good.
is good.
It sounds good.
I
I mean,
like
soft life
hybrid.
sounds good too, but boss life sounds good. But yeah, I say across the
What
table.
it comes with.
You already mentioned this, so I know what you're gonna say.
Okay.
Ask for help or figure it out yourself.
Help.
Help. All right.
Help is a complete sentence too. Like no, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna make it one.
Peace or perfection?
Peace.
Boundaries or people pleasing?
Boundaries. But I have been known to people please.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think, and it's funny because I talked to my therapist about this one.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think it. Now you guys can't say that y'all have not been trying to please people.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
Often,
surprised
yeah.
that you did it. I wasn't saying I didn't do
I
it.
try to please. Yeah. Oh me. Oh you do.
Oh, I do it. I think I yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So I have been a
I've
people
been
like
too
I'm
much.
trying to please, but I think for me that was a growing up thing. It was
Yeah.
a taught thing. It was a mom
Mhm.
teaching you kind of thing. Like
Right.
you have to make sure everybody's taken care of, make sure everybody's happy. So when you do that, you're always trying to please
Right.
people. And so it's, a behavior to
Yeah.
out of.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta check it.
Mhm.
All right. So be needed or understood?
Want to be understood.
I think yeah, understood for sure. All right. Well,
Okay.
okay.
Simple as 1,
2, 3.
Yeah.
All right, we got it. All right. Well, I guess if we ever want to leave our careers, we might can.
I don't know about that.
All right.
We can go to karaoke. That's
All
it.
Yeah, I
right.
think that's about all I got for you.
All right. So choosing ourselves without guilt. How do we get there? Because I think, after everything that we've talked about tonight, I think, where I really want to, if we leave our viewers with something, I think it's something tangible of how they can start to choose themselves without guilt. Because I think that's what we're all kind of working up to. We have to get to the space where we're speaking up, where we're putting ourselves first and not feeling guilty. So, how do we do that?
I think it's grace and intentionality.
Okay.
Um, and I was listening to a podcast this morning.
You listen to other podcasts?
I did.
Oh,
It was a.
don't say
In addition to.
It was a inspiration. I didn't think it was like a podcast. It was like this, like
It's fine. You can listen to
inspirational
other
prayer.
podcasts. I'm just
So it was like a whole prayer and motivational
okay.
and it was really about so for me if I put God first and that's kind of what this podcast was about. Well,
Okay.
not really podcast. Anyway, it was about putting God first. So if you're waking up and you're going, like, you can be in the shower, you can be, you can be driving into work. So I don't
Mhm.
turn the music on or anything like that. But just really saying, okay, well, what can I do that's going to be intentional
Mhm.
today to
Mm.
help me, right?
Yeah.
Get through the day. And it could be me giving somebody else grace, right?
Yeah.
Because of whatever you may have to deal with or walk
Mhm.
into.
Mhm.
Because sometimes you walk into an emotionally draining
Yeah.
job, right?
Yes.
That pulls on
Yes.
you a lot. But I think just giving yourself grace every day, but
Yeah.
being intentional about it, I think is important.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll go back to writing it down. So maybe you have
Yeah.
to journal. Maybe you wake up
Yeah.
in the morning and you write down how you're feeling. And then you may pray to say,
Yeah.
God help me through the day. You could
Yeah.
call it a popcorn prayer, right?
Yeah, I like
It's
that.
it's really quick,
Mm.
help me get
I
through
think
that.
that I like that. I
Yeah.
think something into that popcorn prayer. I don't know if that's a coined term or you just
Mm.
did it, but I think that really helps, and I think it can resonate with a lot of people because I think sometimes people, I'll just say myself, sometimes you think prayer has to be long, you know. So I think saying that I think will kind of help, kind of know that it doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be an hour. I mean, some people's are, and it's fine. Sometimes that's needed, but sometimes it can be, you know, 5, 10, 1 minute. Just I need you, you
And it
know.
could be in the shower. Like it's the places. A lot of times we get so caught up in those moments of it's got to be long. It's got to be like always the first thing in the morning.
Morning, a
Like in
certain
the morning, you can wake up and say, thank you, Lord, for allowing me to see this
right,
day. And you
right.
make it up and get in the shower. But that may be your
Mhm.
moment while you're in the shower.
Right.
It could be your
Yeah.
moment while you're getting dressed or doing your makeup. It could
Yeah.
be your drive. It could be all those things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But just being intentional and say, okay, God, I'm just, praying that I have grace throughout the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
No.
I've had to, like, stop myself in sometimes of the we were talking about, like, peace and perfectionist and people pleasing and all those things. I definitely relate to that.
Yeah.
But I think it's in times I had to stop myself and, like, take a beat, take a break. If I feel myself getting overwhelmed or anxious and trying to accomplish this to-do list, or if I have woken up in the middle of the night thinking, "Okay, well, I gotta do XYZ," coming back from traveling, I think this hit me really hard on Monday because I was like, "Okay, well, you miss a day of work, right? Because 'Cause you're coming back on a Monday, and then you're thinking about your to-do list or things you didn't do before you left into your vacation. You're coming back, and all these things kinda pile up, and I was caught myself getting overwhelmed or like, "Oh, I gotta unpack. I have to
Mm.
wash clothes. I have to cook, or what are we doing for the week or dinner or
Mhm.
things we have planned," and had to, like, stop myself and say, "It's okay not to have everything in order. It's okay
Right.
not to have the house looking clean or
Yeah.
certain things because it's life. Like things
Right.
happen, you
Right.
get in the business of the day, um, and it happens. So
Yeah.
it's I had to give myself grace or have a partner who can slow me down
Yeah.
and help say, where can I pick up the pieces or what do
Yes.
you need assistance with? Because I can get like that or I come in the house immediately. I see this needs to be done, da 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 da.
Mhm.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And I think
It's
that's
okay.
the
That's a good
asking
point.
God for prayer
And it
or
probably goes back.
taking a step.
Agree.
Mhm.
But it goes back to the conversation about the work-life balance.
Yeah.
Probably needs to be like a whole nother thing because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't want to go on vacation. They don't want to take that time off because it is that stressful.
When they come
But
back.
like you were saying, it's a lot like trying to come back. But at the
Mhm.
end of the day, I think if you have those moments to say, it can be on your mind and you can stop and do the email and do the, but what is that changing? It's still taken away from your main priority. And the reality is like we have these jobs. I'm just growing into this more and more. It's like you have these jobs. It may be corporate, it may be whatever, but your main purpose in here, your main ministry is your family. That's your ministry.
Yeah.
And so when you take away from what your main ministry is
Yeah.
to pour into something, yes, you're going to do what you need to do, but they're not going to replace your salary. And so that goes back to the value. What's your value? All right.
Mhm. No.
So I
That's
like that. That's all
yeah.
I really do. Yeah.
That's important. All right. So self-care. We talk about it a lot. We mention it, but what does that really look like? What are we doing?
Taking a nap.
Resting. Yeah.
I'm taking a nap and
I'm
trying to tap into what self-care looks like. So I
right.
think that's the thing.
I know a lot of times we when I think of self care, I think of like spa, say that, or maybe going to a winery, sipping on some red wine, something like that. But sometimes it is just rest. I think sometimes it is resting your body, resting your mind. Um, and I think sometimes that's why we put it off because we think it has to be something that I got to have the money for, I got to have the time to
Right.
do. But really, self care, I think, is just resting, doing what you need to do to pour back into you. Whatever if love music or you like to draw and it's art and you have your art, your artwork and you can paint and do things or whatever, it's pouring back into you, giving time and space where you're just dedicating that just to you. You're carving that space out for you.
So
So,
you got to fill yourself back up.
hmm
If you're not taking care of yourself, it could be a walk.
Mm-hmm.
Some people it's working out like every day.
Yeah.
It could be reading is what self-care for you is building yourself back up. And then of course you've already mentioned like the resting and all
yeah,
of those things
yeah.
because it looks different I
Finally,
think for everyone. Mhm.
So, what's something that we need to stop apologizing for?
being ourselves, and yeah,
Eh,
I would just say being
Stop apologizing for being yourself.
yeah.
Elaborate. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Elaborate a
Because
little
I
bit
think,
more on
and
that.
I'll say too, because for me, I can be a people pleaser at time,
Yeah.
and so when you meet new people and they see the authentic you,
Mhm.
this is me. This is me. I'm the bubbly. I'm the fun when I make curse sometimes. All these things, but like you can't fault people for being who they are, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's when you have to take that mask off sometimes and just be yourself. So I can't apologize for being me. I can't apologize for sometimes me may fumble or do things incorrectly,
Mm,
or you want others to do as you would expect them to do for you, and that's not how it's gonna always be.
I-
So that's what I would say for me. Like,
Yeah.
I would,
Yeah.
how are you?
I think stop apologizing for prioritizing ourselves, or feeling guilty for not taking the rest or doing the things that we need to do to
Yeah.
pour into us. So that's what I would say.
I like that. Yeah, I would agree.
Mhm. All right. Another truth is sip. This one's gonna be a little more spicy.
Okay.
All right. So we might drink a little more wine on this one, on these. All right. Have you ever secretly wanted to disappear for a few days just to breathe?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, well, maybe not. Okay. Yes. All right. One thing that I've been wanting to do and I need to prioritize is I saw someone on social did this is a staycation where they just go locally, just book a hotel and just like journal, order food just by themselves. I think that's so nice. Or we could do it with girlfriends too, but I think it'd be nice to just do it, with yourself and just pour into you. Have you ever felt underappreciated in your relationship or family?
Yes.
Family, yes.
Yeah.
Relationship,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But family, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes.
Both.
Yes.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever poured into everyone else while neglecting yourself?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Mhm.
All right. So, what's something you're tired of pretending doesn't bother you?
Ooh. That doesn't bother me.
Tired of pretending that doesn't bother me. I would say
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a sip. But I think what else about?
I would say, like, I think I talked about it earlier. For me, it is, I'm tired of pretending like you are a whole grown person. Like,
So like other people not
I need for you to
not
stop.
carrying their weight.
You're not carrying your weight. Like, you don't read. Reading is fundamental.
Mm.
Okay. Everybody, we need to read. Like, pay attention to the print. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody sends you something, like, read it. I'm tired of pretending like it doesn't bother. It bothers me. Like, I can't be your parent, your wife, your husband, your this, your mom, your counselor. Like, can I be?
Yeah.
I got my whole situation shit going on over here. It's situation. I got a whole everything. So like, it's hard.
Yeah. It
I'm
is.
tired of pretending like I'm ranting, but I'm tired
You
of
don't have to
pretending
pretend
like
anymore.
this is bothering me.
This is what we're here for. We're just chit chatting. All right. This was good. This was a good combo. Love talking to you ladies. So let's do some closing thoughts. Who wants to go first? And then I'll go last. So who wants to go first? Just reflections. Yes.
I would just say, as I reflect back, because I got a lot out of the conversation as well. So I
Yeah.
think, it's an ongoing balance that we have to do. Hold yourself accountable,
Yeah.
give yourself grace, and be
Mhm.
intentional.
Yes. I like that.
I was gonna say, definitely piggyback on the grace because you have to give yourself grace, but also be intentional about your grace that you give. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to be present for yourself and just enjoy that rest. It's
Yeah.
enjoy that peace, that quiet time for yourself because I
Yeah.
think we need it and like tap into your self care, whatever that looks like, because we need it.
Yes. Yes. And I think I would say to like prioritizing self care. I think the popcorn prayer really spoke to me. Um, and also not feeling guilty for prioritizing yourself. And that self care doesn't always look like, going to the spa, doing something, elaborate, getting, and that's routine things that typically like getting your nails done,
Right.
getting your hair done. That's probably what you're already, so it does help pour into you, does help make you feel good about yourself. So that is something we should do. But sometimes just resting is self-care. So I think that's something that I definitely take away.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to, kind of leave us with women who finally choose themselves, they become impossible to drain. So once we finally choose ourselves, we definitely become impossible to not only drain, but we're also impossible and we can't be stopped.
This is right.
So, all right. So we thank you for choosing Real Talk and Red Wine. Until next time, protect your peace, honor your growth, and keep pouring into yourselves. Until next time,
Real
cheers.
talk, no filters, no lies, real one. Truth in our eyes at the table where the healing don't hide. We sip slow, let the real come alive. Real talk, yeah, we say what we feel, red wine. Make it honest, make it real.